Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been far too long since I have done a video. I am so excited to be back. My name is Elizabeth Grace from Room Perfume on TikTok if you followed me there. And I'm very excited about today's video because it is my top 10 favorite recent perfume discoveries, and there are some really good ones. So here we go. This perfume, life-changing. I sampled it. I went through 3 decants. It made its way like immediately onto my top 10 favorites for life. This is so good. This is Manakara. This is Lychee Rose Vanilla Perfection. I am a literal fiend for lychee. I love it in beverages, in food, in fragrance. It is one of my favorite smells and just like things on earth. And then rose as well. So a rose lychee, there's a vanilla custard note. It is absolute perfection. It's a little bit creamy, a little bit tropical, it's floral, it's juicy, it's lush. It is truly one of the best things I've ever smelled. If you tend to love like a slightly, I don't know how to describe it, like a fruity floral that has a little bit of a gourmand undertone, this is absolute perfection. It has that warmth from that vanilla custard note. There's a coconut note, but I don't get a lot of coconut, which I personally prefer because I'm not a huge coconut perfume girl. This is the best like juicy sweet lychee perfume I've ever tried. It's got that like sweet pink rose. I would say that this is probably my #1 favorite recent addition to my collection. This is really like one of those scents that I feel like I'll be in love with forever. I can't imagine a more well done scent in this category. It is just 10 out of 10. Casablanca by House of Bō. This is giving me vacation in Mallorca, like white linen set, the epitome of luxury. Like you go to the spa in the morning, like that's just the vibe that I'm getting from this. There's white tea, white suede, there's white oud. There's a fig note. This is like, it's like that fresh, clean linen spa feel, but with a lot of added depth and woodiness from the oud, the white suede, but it's not a heavy fragrance at all. So it's like the perfect, clean, minimalist aesthetic woody scent. It is so good. My 2 favorites from the house so far are Rosario and Casablanca. I think that this is just like effortlessly beautiful, smells very put together, like just the most elevated, elegant, quiet luxury person. This is what I would imagine that they smell like. I also feel like a fragrance bottle is very important, at least to me. Like I want a bottle, especially if it's an expensive fragrance, I want a bottle that feels expensive, that feels luxurious, and their bottles with these stone caps are just so pretty, and it definitely like, it looks beautiful dresser, and it just really is the full experience, I feel like. Tilia by Marc-Antoine. Okay, to me this is the improved honeyed version of Ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique. For me, for some reason, something about Fleur Narcotique, it's missing just the tiniest bit of something. I sampled it in Paris at their boutique, and it is really beautiful. It has amazing performance, but there's just something about it. I don't know, it's just missing a little something, and this captured whatever it was that I was missing from that one. It is this beautiful yellow floral. There's linden blossom. When you first spray it for like 10 seconds, I almost get a bit of a grape vibe that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think it's the jasmine. If you've smelled like kind of a grapey facet in Alien, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. It's not bad, it's just not, I don't love it, but it's literally there for 10 seconds. And then after that, it is so beautiful. Just a slightly warm, slightly sweet yellow floral. It smells just like a sunny day in a field of flowers. I think it's so elegant. It has incredible projection and longevity as well. I feel like this would be a perfect signature scent because it has enough warmth to where it would hold up in the winter, but it's fresh enough for the spring and summer. Zaharoff Perfumery's Sparkling Jo. This is such a fun, happy fragrance, and I will say, as just a preface, this is not a super long-lasting, great projecting fragrance. This is a refreshing, spritz it all over, reapply often, spring summer fragrance. But it is so, so beautiful. And if you ever tried the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Ginger Picante fragrance, I love it. I have a bottle upstairs, but it is very sadly discontinued, which I'm still bitter about. This has a similar vibe. That fragrance has this very effervescent, sparkly ginger, and this also has a very effervescent, sparkly ginger. It also has a champagne note and a pear note. It is very just effervescent, fun, uplifting, happy, very refreshing, sparkly. I don't know, I feel like I'm saying all words that mean the same thing, but it is so, so pretty. But again, longevity, not amazing. This is for those of you that want something beautifully happy, refreshing, crisp that you are willing to reapply. I think it is perfectly worth it. I don't mind that, and you can get their smaller bottles as well and throw it in your bag. So I think this is beautiful. This is also at Twistability, so again, I have a discount code if you want to use that. But this is such a fun, happy fragrance. I feel like especially I'm going to be using this constantly in the summer. Chauvat's Lait de Biscuit. Okay, this is the most cozy, nostalgic, like happy gourmand I think I've ever tried. This smells like milk and cookies. This smells like Biscoff cookies and milk. It is, but it's not too lactonic, like it's not like super creamy, but it is so cozy. I don't even know how to describe it. I know a lot of people complain about the longevity of this fragrance. I don't find that it's awful. It's not amazing either. It's an eau de toilette and it performs like one. But again, I don't really mind reapplying. They do sell travel sprays. You can reapply. I have never in my life smelled a more realistic, like non-synthetic gourmand that feels like you're sniffing cookies. This is incredible. I think it is so, so good. It is just very easy to wear. It's not too heavy or syrupy or sweet, if that makes sense. Like it's not a cloying fragrance. It's just sweet enough, and I honestly think you could wear it all year round. I feel like this is the perfect like cozy night in fragrance. I loved it so much, and it's a great alternative to just like a true vanilla if you still want that like sweet kind of vanilla-y gourmand, but you want something that's a little bit different. My husband absolutely loves this one on me. He smelled it and he was like, "You smell like cookies." I was like, "I know." State of Mind, Butterfly Mind. This fragrance is like joyful springtime in a bottle. It is so, so pretty. This has a white tea note. There's a cherry blossom note. It is so uplifting, so happy, so like fresh and crisp. There's both cherry blossom and actual cherry in this, but I think I get more of the cherry blossom, and that paired with the white tea, it really is just spring in a bottle. It is so beautiful. Widian Black. Okay, this isn't technically like a super recent discovery. I only recently got it in my collection. I did sample it about a year ago. But this is such a beautiful fragrance. It's like equal parts sandalwood, vanilla, and plum, and it is absolute perfection. If you love Maison Treasure, which y'all know I am obsessed with that fragrance, I talk about it all the time. I feel like everybody on my TikTok is probably absolutely exhausted of hearing me talk about how much I love Maison Treasure. But this reminds me of the slightly more fall-ish, or like maybe not even fall, but like evening or just slightly denser, deeper version of Treasure. The sandalwood is a little bit more prominent, and that plum note just makes it feel a little bit more, I don't know, a little deeper. And also, if you are a nose make to Treasure, which I know some people are because of the molecular components, this could be a great alternative that is similar, but you might not go nose blind to. It is so expensive, unfortunately, but it is very, I think, worth it. It is very special, good longevity and projection as well, and it's just the perfect scent. I feel like my favorite fragrances kind of balance like something floral or something woody with some sweetness from vanilla. I do like my fragrances to have a little bit of warmth, not always, but a little bit of like warmth and sweetness. It just feels more like me for some reason. And this one is really such a perfect balance of that sandalwood vanilla plum combo. It is beautiful. Narcotica's Happy Dust. This is just such an easy reach fragrance. This is a very soft, close to the skin, almost like skin scent, just simple vanilla with a dusting of a powdery, fluffy matcha. This is giving me matcha marshmallow kind of vibes, but it is very close to the skin. So I love this for work. I think it's a very, like, it's not an overwhelming scent at all. It doesn't have bad longevity. Like if you spray it on clothes, it will last on your clothes, but it is not going to project very far at all. So if some people won't enjoy that, I don't mind it for the purpose of like just a fragrance to wear it to bed or a fragrance to wear to work where I don't necessarily want something super strong. This is just such a fun fragrance. The matcha note is done beautifully, and I love just the vanilla is a very like, it is a very straightforward vanilla. It's not a burnt sugar vanilla. It's not a really deep boozy vanilla. It is just a vanilla. So the fragrance overall is just easy to wear, easy to like, and I just think it's really fun. Fragrance du Bois Siren. Cherry fragrances are really, really having a moment. And I feel like to some extent there is a little bit of a fatigue with like the constant releases of cherry scents. But I do think this one is actually really beautiful. It feels like a very elegant interpretation of a cherry fragrance. There's oud in here, but it's not a super intense heavy oud. It's just kind of some woodiness. There are lactones in here, so you do get, as it dries down, this almost fluffy, slightly milky quality. I was surprised that there were not florals listed. I definitely would have thought that there was a little bit of a floral facet in here, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the same vibe as Creed's Carmina, but with that added kind of like milky lactone feel. It's really, really pretty, really elegant. I think it's obviously, I wouldn't say it's super groundbreaking necessarily. I think that we have had other cherry fragrances released recently that are somewhat similar, but I do think it is a beautiful fragrance, and I do love the bottle. They did get me with the bottle. I think it is so, so pretty. And that is what I have for my top favorite, most recent perfume discoveries. Let me know in the comments what videos you would like to see in the coming weeks. I'm going to do my best to be way more consistent with posting YouTube videos than I have been, so let me know what you would like to see. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.